cats, sweaty jocks, sentient strawberries, and headless, demonic schoolgirls. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 event. What's up, everybody? I'm Captain Hispanics. Welcome. We're going to talk about the PS5 event that happened recently. I was not going to do a video on this, but man, this was a really packed event, and so I decided kind of last minute we really should put something together. So let's go through it quickly. I'm going to show clips of a lot of different things. Now, they started with the PlayStation symbols, which they constantly showed. It was just between every game, they showed the PlayStation symbols. I don't know, maybe it was like a little interlude, I guess, in case you forgot you were watching the Sony stream. Then they showed a fun little, took notes here, historical PlayStation montage from 1994 and on. But the real opening of the show was GTA 5. So let's see here. Now, this is weak. This is nothing much new. Yeah, it's a 2013 game. It's coming in 2021. PS5 owners will get GTA Online free, which is kind of cool. They're also giving away a lot of cash and online currency. I don't know. The GTA, it's a massive meal ticket for them for sure. But I don't see this as a system seller. And that was kind of the point of the show, to get hype level and sell systems. And I do not think GTA 5 is going to do that, even though it makes a lot of money for Rockstar and all the companies involved. Strange and weak opener, in my opinion. That's what they went with. Not at all hyped. Then they showed Spiderman Miles Morales. At first they said this was just basically expanded content, but then the next day they said it's more like Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is sort of a smaller standalone side story. The messaging could have been better here, but it's still exciting because Insomniac did a hell of a job on the PS4 game. I loved it. And it is a Sony exclusive for holiday 2020. I'm fairly hyped. Then we got gameplay for Gran Turismo 7. Now, I've never been a big fan of the racing sims, but for some reason, Gran Turismo, I've always actually kind of liked. And it's been forever. I think 2013 was the last numbered sequel. They had sort of a side offshoot thing going on a few years ago, but 2013 was the last one, just like GTA 5. There's no release date on this. But it is another solid exclusive that Sony needs, because Microsoft right now is dominating the racing market. So Sony needs that, and that's a good one. That's a good one for the show. And they actually showed some gameplay. Nothing really flashy. They showed just driving in a car. It's good. Then we have, what did we have here? Okay, next is what I consider to be the highlight of the night. The new Ratchet and Clank game, Rift Apart, I believe it's called. Yes. This is another exclusive Insomniac game. They've been red hot lately. Now, I've tried a Ratchet game before, but I haven't played much of it. But this one, I gotta tell you, it really showed me the power of next gen. Swapping from worlds with no load times, the ray tracing, beautiful particle effects, lighting reflections, and animations. The point of this event was for brand loyalty and showcasing next gen power. And in my opinion, this game did it best. I think this was the best in the show. Even though I'm not a Ratchet and Clank fan, I am super hyped for this, and it did what it was supposed to do for the show, which is exhibit next-gen power. No release date, but super hyped, actually. Next up is Project Atheia by Square Enix. This is by the Final Fantasy 15 team. It's for PlayStation and PC. Very little is known here. It's clearly super early. It is a new IP, which is cool, but Square is pretty hit or miss, so we'll just have to wait. Not yet hyped. Okay, let's move over to Stray. This is a strange little game here from what we've seen. It appears as you play as a cat, possibly as a messenger. You do have a little bag. In a futuristic cyberpunk-esque world with weird robots. It's 2021 released, published by Annapurna Interactive. I am super intrigued by this. It's just really just based on the world building. And come on, you play as a cool cat with a backpack. Hype level, medium. For some reason, and it's inexplicable, but I kind of like this. Nice world building. All right, let's see here. Media Molecule is up next. with their title. It is called Sac Boy: A Big Adventure. Media Molecule recently made the game Dreams, which you should check out on my channel. I did a bunch of Let's Plays. I'm doing a lot of streams on it. Awesome game, very unique. Okay, so let's see here. I love the Little Big Planet games. Yeah, this is also from the makers of Little Big Planet. But seeing how they aren't calling it that, I'm a little reticent here. They're not calling it Little Big Planet, which could be good or bad. It appears to be a Mario 3D World-style platformer with a 4-player option. Great, charming, kid-friendly, exclusive platformer. There's no release date, but the hype level's pretty high in this one. I think this was a good one to show. You know, you kind of dip into that sort of younger, family-friendly market that Nintendo has been catering to for a long time, and I think that was good to show. All right, let's see here. All right, the next game I really don't quite know what to make of, and I think a lot of people as well. It's called Destruction AllStars. It appears to be a vehicle arena action game where you can lose your vehicle but still run around. You know, I've heard a lot of negativity towards it, but I'm actually kind of hyped for a zany, colorful destruction derby type game. You know, it looks silly. It looks like you can get out of your car on that one, which is really cool, and then run around. We don't quite know how it works, but yeah, we definitely need to know more. It's a 2021 exclusive. My hype level is low, but curiosity is high. Also, more kitties. All right, continuing the cuteness, we have Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is a third-person action-adventure game. You know, almost has a Pikmin feel to it. You seem to collect these little cuties and explore a pretty world. Kind of charming look to it. It's a holiday 2020 release, and that's only a timed exclusive. Now, that seems pretty soon, holiday 2020, for never hearing about this before and seeing very little. But I can't deny the cute. Hype fairly low for now. Next up is what we have, might be the consensus of worst in show, though I disagree. It is... yeah, I'm pretty intrigued. We've seen very little, but it looks like it's mixing 90210 with Gem and the Holograms and anthropomorphic lizard people. I think it's a narrative-driven game, but the beautiful art and potentially heartfelt story has a medium hype level for me. It's 2021 release for PC and PlayStation. Let's get the title of that game, shall we? I didn't pull up the title of that game. It's Goodbye Volcano High. Goodbye Volcano High. I'm kind of intrigued by this. I really like the art style and the concept. I kind of like it. I know I'm in the minority here. All right, now I've never gotten into the Oddworld games, but next up, we're going to talk about that. Now, I do recognize the appeal. It is a 2.5D puzzle platformer. It's called Oddworld Soulstorm. It's going to release for PC and PlayStation sometime in 2020. You know, the hype level is very low for this for me, and while the series is popular, I am not sure it did much for the event. It's not bad, but forgettable in my opinion. I think fans of Oddworld are going to dig it, but, you know, I don't know that it had much pizzazz, so to speak. All right, moving on, we have more footage from Ghostwire Tokyo. I believe we first saw this last year at the Bethesda conference, I want to say. At E3. It is the latest Shinji Mikami joint. It's a timed exclusive. The game appears to be action-adventure with creepy Japanese horror and more futuristic vibes. A lot of futuristic vibes in this event. There seems to have a mechanic where there are two worlds, the real and the otherworldly. Definite strong horror vibes here. And interesting gameplay, perhaps a lot of variety in gameplay. We're not really sure what this is about yet. My hype level is moderate to low on this one, but a lot of people are stoked for this title, and I could totally see why. I think this was a good one to show. You know, you had a little bit of sort of pseudo gameplay, I guess it would say, and it is a 2021 release. All right, so sci-fi is fairly prominent in this event, and perhaps the most best example of that is Jet. The Far Shore, it's called. This is marketed as a space exploration game. I did a little bit of research on all these games to see what kind of information I could dig up. And it looks like it might even have some horror and mystery vibes. Yeah, I do love good slow burn sci-fi. I'm just a sucker for that. And based on these elements, and I'm kind of excited. We know very little though, so I'm gonna say I'm moderately hyped for this, just because I love the music that they picked. It kind of has that feel of the sci-fi I prefer. Holiday 2020 does seem soon though, and we need to know more. It is for PlayStation and PC. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, GTA 5 may be one of the least impressive titles to show during this event, I would argue, but another one that's competing for that not-so-prized title is Godfall. Let's see here. It's an action RPG. It's published by Gearbox, not developed by them. They're the makers of Borderlands, of course, and Battleborn. Godfall is described as a looter slasher, which even if it's published by Gearbox, it's probably going to have loot vibes. I don't know. It looked like a fairly generic power acquisition high fantasy action game. It does have drop in, drop out co-op. I did some research on that, and perhaps lots of customization, which is kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't think that one got really anybody excited. I could be wrong. It's coming out late 2020 for PlayStation and PC. All right, Annapurna Interactive comes back again. The next one to show, it's called Solar Ash. Not much known here again. And you can see the footage. The only reason I have any hype, frankly, is that it's being developed by Heart Machine. Heart Machine, you may know, are the makers of the fantastic Hyper Light Drifter. If you guys not have played that indie title, you absolutely should. It's kind of a Zelda-style, Zelda-inspired game with great art, great animation. Just awesome. So that's the only reason I'm really hyped for this, 2021 release by Solar Ash, it's called, and PlayStation and PC, from what I've gathered. I've tried to do as much research as I can, but sometimes the details are very scant. All right, let's see here. Okay. Death awaits in January 2021. That's the tagline for Hitman 3. Now, I've not played a Hitman game. I've watched Let's Plays and streams, but it does not seem like the kind of game that I would love. It does, however, have a dedicated fan base. There's not much to say here. The trailer seemed okay. Didn't really show any gameplay. I doubt it will bring in new players, but we'll see. I think, obviously, for Hitman fans, that's cool. That's obviously not going to be an exclusive, but, it's something to show. Hype non-existent is what I took notes here. Hype non-existent. That is true. It's obviously not an exclusive. Let's get back aboard the cuteness train with Astros Playroom. It is a 3D platformer follow-up to Astro Bot. And that is a PS4 and PSVR game. I've heard a lot of good things about Astro Bot. It is PS4 and PSVR. But it's a really charming platformer, and from everything I've seen with the music and animation, it looks really good. So, I'm pretty curious about Astro's Playroom. One thing I did find doing research is that it says it's loaded to every PS5 automatically, which is kind of interesting. So I guess it's free if you buy the PS5. That is a 2020 release. Hype moderately low. We're gonna move on to a curious little title. This is called Little Devil Inside. There we go. It is a kick-started, stylish survival RPG that has a weird bifurcated thing going on where 1 minute you're slaying dragons and the other you're an old man going through his humdrum life. It's pretty interesting looking. I don't care much for survival games, but I gotta tell you, the art and the concepts at play had me very curious. I loved the trailer. It was very charming. It looked like it showed possibly actual gameplay. I don't know if it was rendered or not. It just seems both playful and serious, and I definitely want to know more. So my hype is probably, I would put that at moderate. I did not take notes here, but I'm going to put that at moderate. There's no release date, and it's not exclusive. And then we have the obligatory, profusely sweating hoop shooter. You gotta have that, right? Okay, so I'm not gonna show you the clip. I took notes on all this stuff. It's basically a nothing burger here. NBA 2K21. Very popular franchise, NBA 2K. I actually don't like sports in real life at all, but I do play sports games. I play all genres of games. I think they're underrated as a video game format, sports games. But I did play NBA 2K19. I had trouble with it. I had a lot of trouble with it. But anyway, not much to say here. It's beloved, the series, by critics and consumers, the NBA 2K. And it seems like they're always focused on sweaty jocks. So there you go. A new shooty hoops game. But now with more sweat glands. More sweat glands. All right. Let's see here. From sweaty jocks, we move on to sentient strawberries. This is called Bug Snacks. Looks weird. It is, I did some research on it. It is first-person adventure game. It's pretty quirky. The gameplay crux is where you are what you eat. Like, literally. You are what you eat. So that's an interesting concept. The hype is low, but it is from the team who made Octodad. So this is one we want to keep an eye out for. It's got potential. And I like that concept. It could be charming. Though I might feel guilty about eating sentient strawberries. I'm just going to say. And also having weenie hands. I don't know about the weenie hands. But that's a holiday 2020 on PlayStation and the Epic Games stores. Alright guys, now we're going to talk about my most hyped game by far of the show. Demon's Souls. I am a huge Souls fan. It's probably my favorite series right now. But I never played Demon's Souls. And it's PS3 exclusive. And I've basically been debating whether to go play it. But the problem is I keep thinking, well, let me wait for a remaster or a remake or even a re-release. And, people were telling me, it may happen, it may not. You should just go play it. I'm so glad that they're talking about it now. So let's see. We took some notes here. This title, some consider it's the best in the series. It's a little fractured on the opinions on this one. Some did express concerns over the new-ish art style and the fact that From Software is not part of this. Demon's Souls is being redone by Blue Point Games, the team behind the Shadow of the Colossus remaster. Having no experience with Demon's Souls, I did love the look though. And I do trust Blue Point won't change the soul of the game. I am super hyped for this. There's no release date. It's a Sony exclusive, I assume, like the PS3 was. And I'm mega, super, ultra hyped for this. Hell yeah. Okay. And we're going to recap everything at the end. So Arcane Studio comes next with their game called Deathloop. Deathloop looks interesting. This is from the makers of Dishonored, and I thought the art did look a bit like Dishonored, but I also thought it was a little more colorful and cartoony. You use stealth, you use parkour, you are stuck in a time loop, which does hint at roguelike elements. Apparently, there's a rival assassin, but it's unclear how it works. Is it a Mr. X situation? Is that only for multiplayer? I did do some research, and they talked about that being a multiplayer aspect, but I don't know if it's only multiplayer. Where people can like invade your games. I don't know. It's interesting. Is it like a Dark Souls invasion style? A lot of questions here. I do like the grindhouse style. You almost get Quentin Tarantino vibes and the ideas at play, but I'm just not sure on this one. I wish the trailer just showed you straight up gameplay, uncut. Moderate hype, very curious, solid for the show. Releases 2020 for PC and PS5. Capcom, they're up next. They're on fire lately. Monster Hunter, the Resident Evil remakes, Mega Man 11. They're coming in here. They have Resident Evil Village. This was pretty meh. I don't know. It's a non-exclusive direct sequel to Resident Evil 7. The demo showed very little, and it ran poorly. It is from a first-person perspective. I actually love the Resident Evil 2 remake, despite not being a fan of the series, and it actually made my top 10 2019 games of the year list, which you should totally check out. Shameless plug. But I don't know about this one. The demo really didn't do it for me, and I don't know that it did it for anybody, honestly. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there, but even if you're a Resident Evil fan, I don't know. We need to see more on that. The hype level, moderately low. Let's move on to both sci-fi and cats. We get them both this time. But no sentient strawberries. or sweat glands. All right. So it's another non-exclusive Capcom game. It's called Pragmata. This one releases in 2022, so this one's late out, and we did not see much. It was a short cutscene. Lots of weird visuals here, besides the holographic cat. I gotta tell you, I almost got a Hideo Kojima vibe here. I do love the bizarre technology. That's really cool. But, yeah, hype level is nigh non-existent, since we know basically nothing. Interesting ideas at play in terms of the art and the technology and the world building, but, okay. Okay, and then we're going to cap off the show with, to no one's surprise, the new Horizon games. Forbidden West. Yes, okay. I got to tell you, I don't know. I played a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn, and it is a damn fine game, but I just didn't get hooked. I played about maybe 10 hours of it. It's not enough to really get the feel of it. So, yeah, I think I'm just burned out on open-world action RPGs. I'm fatigued on them. Unless they really innovate, like Witcher 3 or Breath of the Wild, if it's not pushing the genre forward and doing things differently, kind of burned out, especially being a completionist where you want to do everything. Those games, if I'm going to play them, I'm probably playing it for hundreds of hours. Still, this is a substantial PS5 exclusive, and the goal of the show is to push that hype up and ultimately sell PS5s. I think this game's going to do that. Not gangbusters, but this is definitely going to do that. This is high up there. So yeah, it's not surprising to end that show with it. It works. It's a good showing. They just didn't show much on it as well, but it works. And that's it. So we got to talk about the last thing, the look of the system. It is interesting. It's okay. A lot of people saying it's super ugly. A lot of people saying it's great looking. Well, not a lot of people. Some people are defending it. It's okay. It's growing on me. It's sort of, everybody says it looks like a router and everything. To me, it looks like if you have a TV show, especially a comedy, and they're displaying PlayStation 10, where it's like trying to imagine, like, we're skipping PlayStation 5. It's almost like a joke. Like, we're skipping PlayStation 5. We're doing PlayStation 10. And this is what it would look like. It looks very try-hard. Like it's trying to look super futuristic. I don't know. I don't hate it. It is growing on me. But it is interesting. Like, yeah, it's trying too hard to look sleek, sexy, and futuristic. It's almost the opposite of Series X, where Series X is just like, here I am. This is the system. I'm a console. I'm a big boy. I'm thick. I'm swole. I'm here. And PlayStation 5 is just more like, look at me. I'm futuristic. I'm thin and all this other stuff. I don't know. I don't really care about the looks of systems. It really does not bother me at all. I don't think in 5-10 years anybody's going to bat an eye at the look of it. It certainly looks better than those fake images that we saw of PlayStation 5. So, yeah, I like it. I actually like the white. Black is my favorite color, but I kind of like the consoles and controllers looking white. I don't know why, even though black's my favorite color. So, yeah. All right, to sum it up, guys, let's see here. All right, we're going to talk about the best in show. I think that Ratchet & Clank was the best in show, even though I'm trying to look at this objectively. I'm not a big Ratchet & Clank fan yet. Maybe I will become. But I do think they were the best in show. I think they did what you're supposed to do. First of all, it's Insomniac. It's a legit exclusive. It looked fantastic gameplay, and it showed next gen. Now, it's not knock your socks off next gen, but it did show, all the particle effects, ray tracing, and one thing they've been talking about a lot is the load times, like decreasing load times, and that was on highlight here. They were switching worlds left and right with no load times. Looked fantastic. That one I'm really hyped for, even though I never played a Ratchet & Clank game. Big time. That was the winner show. Now, number 2, I'm actually going to go with Demon's Souls. Now, you may say, oh, Captain, you're just being biased because Dark Souls is your favorite franchise right now. And you may be right. But remember, I put Ratchet & Clank as my number 1 of the show. Here's the thing. The Souls games have been really breaking into the majority very slowly. With each title, they chip away at that majority. And I think this is going to continue that trend. Bloodborne especially, I really think broke through the other side. I heard a lot of people who never played a Souls game who played Bloodborne and loved it. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who look at this game and want to try it because it's going to look great in theory. And I don't know, man. I think this one's going to sell a lot of systems, especially because I assume this won't even be on PC at all. So if you want to play this game and you're a Souls fan, first of all, you got to get the PlayStation 5. But even if you're not a Souls fan, I think it's not going to be like number one where it's like, I'm not a Souls fan, but I want to play this. Those people, it's not alone going to sell a system. But when you combine that with everything else, I think that's a good one to look for. Any other ones I want to talk about? Spider-Man real quick. Spider-Man, that's going to be a big one, even though it's not a full title. I think Miles Morales is on his path to getting his own full-length title, which would be great. And I think that one's going to help sell systems. And, of course, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is probably number 3, and then Spider-Man's number 4 in terms of best in show. Worst in show, I didn't take any notes on that, but I'm just going to say GTA 5 and Godfall probably. Maybe even the Resident Evil one would be up there. Okay, well, I think that's it. Do we have any other... that's it. So lots of cuteness, lots of sci-fi, sentient strawberries, sweat glands, lots of exclusives. That's the most important point. A lot of exclusives and a decent amount of gameplay. That's what you want to see in this type of event. And you also want to see showing next-gen power, which you didn't get a lot of that, but you got some. Yeah, and lots of variety I put. So there you go. That's the event, everybody. If I were to grade this, I'm probably going to go with a B. I was thinking about a B+, but then I started thinking about all the other E3 events that have knocked my socks off. And this isn't an E3 event, but I'm kind of comparing it to those. I'd give it a B. It was definitely better than a Microsoft event, even though I thought that one was okay. And I hope Microsoft does well. I want competition. I'm not a fanboy. I've owned all the Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo consoles. So, not a fanboy. I love them all. Alright, thank you guys. This video is going kind of long. And make sure to sub and follow me on Twitch. And perhaps even consider supporting me on Patreon. It helps a lot. I work really hard on this channel. And let me know what you think of the show. What did you think were the highs and lows? I would really love to hear the feedback, because I'm curious to see if I'm way off base on this one, which I might be. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye everybody. Bye.